Hello everyone, my name is Jenna, but you guys can call me Jen. Welcome back to my channel. Welcome to the start of another weekend vlog. This weekend, long weekend. It's officially Friday. It's like the middle of the day and I'm about to head off to the lake because it's Easter and my parents want me up there for Easter. So that's what's happening. That's amazing. I was supposed to have my piano lesson in like 20 minutes, but I just got a phone call that is canceled. So I'm heading up to the lake a wee bit early, which is very exciting. Yes, we're off to the lake. And this weekend, because it's a long weekend, I am going to do a little bit of a reading challenge, which I love to do, where I read the entirety of Robin Hobb's Farseer trilogy. I have previously read the first one, The Assassin's Apprentice, and I want to reread that because I didn't really love it the first time I read it. So I'm gonna reread it, refresh my memory, and then dive into the rest of the trilogy, which I have with me. I have all the audiobooks for it. I'm prepared to love this trilogy and really learn why Robin Hobb is such a prolific, amazing fantasy writer. So we're gonna do that. But first we actually have to go to the lake. So let's do it. Midnight and my parents are sleeping, but I wanted to pop in and say, hey, I've had a good day. I ended up starting and finishing The Assassin's Apprentice today and starting book 2. I'm 130 pages into this one and I will give all my thoughts when I get home and I can speak more clearly and loudly, but adored this the second time around. I think it's just wonderful. Maybe it's because I'm reading it so quickly and just like getting the whole story in one, because it is a very slow-paced fantasy, but I thought it was really well done. And I think I just didn't have the experience with high fantasy that I did the first time I read this to really appreciate it. So, really liked this. And I'm liking this one too, so I'll continue to read this tomorrow. But the first book is like 400 and some pages. Second book is like 600 and some pages. And this one is over 700. So it remains to be seen if I will finish all 3 this weekend, but fingers crossed. So tomorrow, hopefully I'll get some writing in because I really want to get boogieing on Project Luck and also some more reading in and relaxing because I'm at the cabin. So anyways, good night. Hello, my lovely friends. Happy Sunday. I am back home once again, sitting on the couch looking like a hot mess because today's been a long day. Hung out at the cabin until like 12:31, came home and then spent majority of my afternoon deep cleaning my condo, tidying, just making it smell delicious, all the good things, and it feels so nice. But my feet hurt from standing for so long because my building is made out of concrete, so standing for a really long time hurts like hell. But anyways, hello! I'm home from the cabin, and I thought I'd pop in and say hey. This weekend has been so lovely. Pretty productive reading-wise. I managed to finish 2 of the Fitz books, yeah. Yes and no. 2 of the Farseer trilogy, and I got a lot of words down for Project Luck as well. But we'll talk about Robin Hobb first. Now, I don't remember exactly what I've said about Robin Hobb in this video, probably very little, because I remember I was like running out the door. But previously I read this lovely book here on The Assassin's Apprentice years ago. I don't remember what year I read it in. I don't remember. And it was okay. I was surprised, I think, going in, because knowing what I did at the time, that Robin Hobb was a very large, well-beloved name in the fantasy genre, I was expecting this to be like a lot of the other older fantasy that I've read, and it's not, with an asterisk next to it. A lot of the older fantasy that I've read, like Robert Jordan and Tolkien and a lot of those classic big juicy fantasies, they have a lot going on in them, even though like in the case of like Tolkien, it can be construed as pretty slow sometimes. Now, I was expecting to go in and have like a typical fantasy book when I read this for the first time. But I came out being like, what I got was more of a biography of a young man. And I don't know if I loved it at all. I did enjoy the audiobook experience when I read it first, because I did read it through the audiobook for the first time, because I think I was listening to it on like a road trip at some point. But I enjoyed it, but I found it slow. Slow enough that I was like, I don't really want to go into the next one. Like, I eventually picked it up from the store, but I got like 100 pages in last time I was reading this, and it just wasn't grabbing me, so I put it down. But since then, I've been seeing all over the internet just a superb level of wonder and adoration for Robin Hobb in her works and in her Elderlings, the Realm of the Elderlings series, plural, that she has written. So I want to know why people absolutely love her books so much, right? I really wanted to know. But I'm the kind of person that if there's an order to something, I need to read them in order. And I kind of figured that maybe the Farseer trilogy, which is the first trilogy in her world and her first, her debut and stuff, I figured maybe it just wasn't for me. Like, maybe Fitz was just not a character for me, and I'd need to go to like the Mad Ship series, or potentially the ones with the dragons in it. Because, you know, I love me some dragons. But because I am who I am, I need to read these in order, because I don't want to miss out on anything, and I want to understand the world completely. So I figured, I was like, at some point, I'm going to read all 3 of these books. So I did end up picking up this one from the thrift store, The Assassin's Quest, and have the whole trilogy in front of me. So I was like, yeah, at some point, I'm going to read them all. So I decided on a whim this weekend that this was going to be the weekend where I read them all. Now, I don't think I'm going to be able to do that, but I've definitely given a good hard try. And you know what? I see it. I see why people love Robin Hobb so much. Because now that I have reread the first book, reread The Assassin's Apprentice, knowing how slow of a fantasy it is, I could appreciate every single moment of it. I think also, even though it is a slow-moving fantasy book, having read it basically in one sitting with a couple breaks here and there, but in one day, was an exceptional choice on my part, because it felt like I was living and breathing every aspect of the story continuously. I don't know if I would have enjoyed this as much if I had picked it up and put it down and read it over like a week, let's say. Still really enjoyed this, and I do recommend it if you're looking for something to really just kind of sit back and enjoy. And it's a very gentle ride of what's going on. And then the ending, the last 100 pages are insane. Whack, and so exciting and wonderful, and I really enjoyed the ending. From there, I then dove into The Royal Assassin, which is book 2, and I enjoyed this as well. None of these have been 5 stars so far, but I am really quite enjoying the world, and I am so hooked on all of these characters that we are introduced to. Fitz, I have to keep reminding myself that he's like, throughout this, like 14, 15, 16 years old, because he talks and acts like a 40-year-old man. And I have to keep reminding myself, he's literally a teenager. And there's a lot of moments in here where he's like declaring his undying love for Molly in here, who's his love interest. And I'm just like, my man, you were literally 1, 2 years younger than her. She's older than you. And 2, you're 15. You're 15, my man. And the way that everyone in these books is treating Fitz like a man, and I'm just like, I understand that he's been through a lot and he's gone through life experiences that have completely changed his outlook on life, and that he is, in all respects, like, he believes himself to be a man and has gone through it and like can take care of himself, but he's still only like, he's just a bean. He's just 15 years old. Somebody needs to protect this kid. Like, the whole time, the ending of this was insane yet again. So I'm starting to get the feeling and the formula of Robin Hobb's work. It's slower, it's methodical, it's such an interesting look at how, like, how's the best way to say it? It's like, honestly, the beginning of The Assassin's Apprentice, the first one, it was such an interesting look because we get 6-year-old Fitz, who is being introduced into this new keep as a bastard son of the king in waiting. And we never meet Chivalry, his father. We never meet him. We just hear of him from other people. And we do meet Chivalry's 2 brothers, Verity and Regal. So we meet all of these people and we see all these political machinations going on. But because Fitz is 6 years old at the beginning of this, he doesn't really comprehend a damn thing that's happening. And he's just witnessing conversations that are going on between people. And it's such a neat way to get the politics across of this world, because we get it as Fitz is growing up, and for a lot of it, Fitz just doesn't care about any of that. All he cares about is his day-to-day life, being a boy, helping Burrich out in the stables, and like, he doesn't really quite grasp the fact that he is a bastard and what that means for the crown. You know, his grandfather, King Shrewd, like, takes him in and definitely immediately hones in on him and makes him a tool, right? And, you know, gets him in his apprenticeship with Chade. And then in the second book, we actually see Fitz starting to understand court life and know how to maneuver in it, which is really cool. But then there's moments in here where, like, in this moment, there's also this magic. There's 2 different kind of magic systems in these books, maybe possibly 3. I think there's 3 explained in here, but there's 2 main ones called the wit and the skill. And the wit is considered to be one of the worst things that you could ever do, because you can, like, take control of animals' minds or bond with them, and in that way you become an animal yourself. So, like, it's highly, highly taboo, that kind of magic, but that's what Fitz has. And then there's also the skill, which is a royal bloodline main channel of magic that is low-key reading people's minds, which is kind of interesting. We haven't really gone that in depth on the fact that it is kind of reading people's minds and you can control people with it. But so in here, Verity, who is the king in waiting in this book and Fitz's uncle, has a connection with Fitz through the skill. It's something they've been working on. And so, like, Fitz can walk around the keep and Verity can be essentially watching through his eyes, because he can, like, attach into in his mind and, like, see and witness Fitz as what Fitz is witnessing as he's going throughout his day. In this, Verity goes on a, like, trip away, but he wants to still be attached to Fitz on this because he knows they're on, like, balanced on an edge, a knife's edge with politics right now with his brother Regal, who's just the worst. But Fitz in this, like, he understands that he has to keep Buck safe. He has to help the queen in waiting, Kitchikin, and he has to protect her, and he has to do all this stuff, and he has to be very aware of stuff. But then the entire, like, first week that Verity is gone, my man just, like, is like, I'm just gonna go hang out with my wolf and mess around with my girlfriend. And I'm just like, Fitz. Then I have to remember, he's 15. I'm really enjoying these. I haven't had a chance to properly start the Assassin's Quest, which is what I'm sitting down to do now. This isn't like an 800-page fantasy book. There's no way I'm going to finish it today. The audiobook at 3 times speed is 12 hours long. So there's no way. There's literally no way. It is 7:30. So I'm hoping to get at least a couple hundred pages in, and I will continue reading it this week. Tomorrow I do have off of piano, so I am hoping to get a good chunk of it done in the evening as well. In a perfect world, I could wrap it today and tomorrow and have all 3 books in this vlog. So like fingers crossed I can do that, but we shall see what I get up to. I am really enjoying being in Robin Hobb's writing and her world. It is giving me the epic fantasy flavor that I've been missing lately. I don't know, like when I read these books, it reminds me of J.R.R. Tolkien and Robert Jordan and John Gwynn's The Faithful and the Fallen series. Like it reminds me of all these really epic fantasy books. And I'm so glad that these are written by a woman, because the women in here are amazing. I want to be Queen Ketchikan. I want to be her. She is so cool. There's moments in the second book when we get to properly like spend time with her. She's so good. She has a knack for being a queen in politics and all this kind of stuff without even really knowing what being a queen in the 6 duchies, which is this world, is supposed to be like. God, I love her. Oh my God, she's so cool. Anyways, this has been a fantastic weekend of reading. Other than that, I did add about 3,000 words to Project Lux, so I think we're sitting right around the 35,000 word mark. Other than these 3 books this week, because I knew I was going to be reading these 3 books this weekend, I finished up The Stars Undying by Emery Robin, and I ended up giving that one 4 stars, and I managed to nearly finish Amina Al-Sarafi before I left, but I think I have like an hour and a half on the audiobook left, so I would finish it today right now, but I really want to get into the Assassin's Quest, so that's what I'm gonna do. Absolutely adoring Amina as well. But yes, all the reading, all of the things. Definitely a good time. And if it's any indication, I ordered the entire next trilogy, which is the Mad Ship trilogy from Indigo, in these little paperbacks, because I think there's something so special about reading epic fantasy in a little pocketbook size. I don't know what it is. I think they're ugly as hell, but I love them. They're so cute. If I could do a shelf of just these little baby paperbacks, I would. Anyways, my friends, this has been fun. This has been the longest update, but I haven't really talked to you all weekend, so that's the vibe. That's what's happening. I'm gonna dive in to the Assassin's Quest, and I'll update you a little later. Hello everyone, happy Monday. I am here, end of my workday. Don't have piano tonight, which is why it's nice and bright when I'm actually talking to you. It is officially the end of the vlog. I don't believe I'll be able to finish the Assassin's Quest tonight, so I will just leave it at the 300 pages that I have read yesterday. I'm really liking this book. It's definitely a little different from the first 2 because this is completely detached from the setting that we know from book 1 and book 2, which is basically being majoritively set at Buckkeep. And Buckkeep is where Fitz was raised. So in that one, we are traveling. It is definitely a quest. Got these 2 read this weekend. Hopefully I will be able to finish up the Assassin's Quest in the next few days. But yes, thank you guys for joining me for this insane attempt at reading the entire Farseer trilogy in 1 weekend. I probably could do it, but I do have a few things tonight that I want to do that are content related, and I do have to edit this vlog. And mainly because tomorrow, April 11th, or today that you guys are watching this, is officially cover release day for A Second Story. So I figured, why not put the full spread at the end of this video so you guys can see it, because it is officially released. A Second Story has a cover. I will have more information about paperback pre-orders very soon, hopefully. I'm just trying to do one more pass through of A Second Story before I officially lock in on Ingram Spark, which is where I have to do the paperback pre-order through, because Ingram charges for any changes in the manuscript. So I'm trying to get it as polished as I can so that I can call it done and just leave it and have Ingram, you know, take care of it from there. But yes, oh my God, what else is going on today? The first 4 arcs were released for the people who wanted them from my newsletter. I also released a video this morning on TikTok calling for arcs. So if you missed the original newsletter deadline to get the arc sign up form The sign up form is live. I will have it in the description of this video if you so desire to go sign up for an arc of A Second Story. And I'm just so excited. I don't know what else I have to say. But yeah, the cover is live. Feast your eyes on my boys. If you guys want to share the cover anywhere, feel free. I would love to be tagged in posts in Instagram stories and TikToks. Feel free to post it, to share it, to tag me in it so I know that you're doing it, and I will repost and reshare those because I just want everybody to know about this book and I want everybody to read it when it comes out in exactly a month as of this going up. It's a month. We're a month away and I have my proofs from Amazon on their way to me. So I'm so excited. That's going to be coming this week. Holy man. Anyways, what else did I do this weekend? Got some words in for Project Luck, which is very exciting. Watched a lot of Gab Smolders as usual. Oh, I'm so excited. Do you guys love the cover? Tell me you love the cover. I want to know that you love it. But yes, my friends. Oh, also, I got book mail today. Very exciting. This is a book from a Kickstarter that KS Veloso ran. So KS Veloso, if you guys know, is the author of The Chronicles of the Bitch Queen, which is the Witch of Oroñaro series. That is traditionally published by Orbit, I believe. I'm squinting at my bookshelves to see if I can tell the publisher signal, and I think it's Orbit. And she also self-publishes a lot of stuff. And this Kickstarter went live, and I was like, I gotta join in on this Kickstarter because I love KS Veloso, and this just sounded so cool. I got my book. I got my copy of the book, The Outlaw Mage, which is very exciting. I'm pretty sure that this will be going up, you know, in places for people to buy. So definitely check it out. I'm very excited to get into it because I love KS Veloso. But yeah, book mail of the day. We love it. Anyways, oh my gosh, I don't even know. I have so much to do tonight because I want to like ramp up my content for this coming month for things, especially on Instagram. So I'm going to get really well acquainted with Canva because I want to do a lot of like promotional kind of type of images and stuff. And now that I have my cover and I can talk about it and show it everywhere, I can start doing that as well. And there's a lot of content that I want to do when I actually have the physical book in my hands. So that's going to be really exciting. I'm so excited. Oh my God. Anyways, my friends, I'm just rambling now. Thank you guys so much for watching this vlog. Let me know down below what you think of the cover of A Second Story. And if you've pre-ordered yet, because the ebook pre-order is live and I will be telling you when the paperback pre-order is live as well. Share the cover everywhere. You can get, as you're seeing this, you can get the post from my Instagram on my Instagram if you want to go share it from there. And I believe I'll be putting one up on Twitter and on TikTok as well. So feel free to share. I would love if you did. All of those posts when they're live. They should be live as you're watching this. But anyways, friends, thank you so much for watching. I'll catch you in another one soon. Bye.